Good morning, it is day 2 on the painting and today I'm going to try and get it blocked in. I'm going to start with the deers because I'm most excited to get them done and see how they're going to look, and then I'm going to try and get the foreground and some of this midground done as well, but we'll see how we go. Anyway, I'm going to get started because it's 9 o'clock now and I want to get as much of this done today as I possibly can. So it's 2 o'clock now and I've been painting for probably about 4.5 hours in total. We've had lunch in between, but this is where I'm at so far. So I've managed to get both of the deer blocked in. Like, the brushwork isn't amazing on this because it's just the first layer. I've just done it relatively quickly. Obviously it's still taking me about 4 hours to get those two in, but I am pretty happy with how they've turned out, and I wanted a very solid foundation to work from, which is why I spent so much time on these. I don't want to just do it super quickly and just rough it in. I wanted to have something a little bit more solid and more substantial to work over the top of. Even though this is taking time, the next layer is going to take even longer. But before I can get onto that, I'm going to need to block in the midground and the foreground, but I think I'm going to have a minute, get some fresh air, let this room just ventilate a little bit, and then come back to it fresh in about an hour or so. I've got a little shadow. So I'm painting the midground, and do you know what absolutely baffles me about paint? Like, look at these colours that I'm mixing up here. That is like pretty orange. Like, when I'm looking at it here, and then I just take that colour and I place it here, and it's super green. Like, green, orange, green. I have a really hard time mixing colours, and that's one of the reasons why. Why does it never look the same on your palette as it does on the actual painting itself? I'm trying to be a little bit more controlled with my colours, and also a little bit more varied with my colours in this painting. So I'm trying to really double check that the colours that I'm putting on the canvas are the colours that I actually want. And that doesn't mean like copying from the reference photo up here. I'm not trying to match that exactly in terms of colours, but I am trying to make sure that the colours that I put down match the rest of the painting. Which is why, if I'd gone like super green, so I do actually have a sap green just here. If I were to actually take some of that sap green on my brush, which is an actual green, and maybe just like knock it back a little bit with some white, a little bit of yellow. So we're creating an actual green there. If I were to take that green and put it over here, it just completely overpowers that painting. So what I'm trying to do is keep quite neutral greens, and I'm actually mixing the greens with some yellow, a little bit of purple and a little bit of orange, which is creating these greens, which I don't really understand how, but it's making nice greens, so I'm happy with it, and I'm going to carry on doing this. So this sort of like mid-ground bit is finished. I'm not entirely happy with it yet. Obviously it is just a block-in and there's still a long way to go, but I'm not quite sure how much detail I actually want in this background just yet. But I think the first thing I've got to do anyway is get this foreground in so that then I can like determine just how much detail I actually need in that background. So that is my plan for the rest of today. Try and get this foreground in to a decent level so then I can let it dry and start thinking about where I'm going to take it next. So I've been painting the rocks here, and I don't know if I've gone a little bit too dark with them. So I'm not gonna paint over them just yet because this is just the first layer, it's just the wash. I'm not gonna worry about it too much, but I am gonna go a little bit lighter with the paint on this side, and then when it comes to doing the actual final layers, I can decide which side I like best. But I think it's just detracting from the deer a little bit too much, so it just needs knocking back a little bit. So I'm at the end of day 2 on this piece so far, and I've managed to get everything blocked in to a sort of semi-covered point. Basically, I just wanted to cover the canvas. There's still a long way to go on this painting. Like, I've got another probably 2 days on the clouds, another 2 days on the deer, probably a day on this like greeny mid-ground bit at the back, and then probably another 2 days on these rocks to get them to a point that I am like really happy with, because I do want this to be one of the best paintings I've ever done. There's still some tweaking to do with all the colours and everything, but as it stands at the moment, I am really happy with how this is looking, and I can't wait to see how it progresses. Anyway, that's it for this video. I really hope you choose to stick around and subscribe, and come and join me on this journey of trying loads of new and exciting things. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.